The point of this video is to make you feel like you're not alone when you make a mistake as an au pair. You're not gonna get fired. You're a human, and if your au pairs, whose parents are human too, they also make tons of mistakes. Like, how often have you seen children being dragged on the street crying their faces off by their parents? It's like, it happens. Children are unpredictable. I'm Edwina.
I'm Hannah, and today we're talking about the worst things we ever did as an au pair.
So the worst thing that I ever did as an au pair was probably, there were really great things that I did too, okay? But
yeah, the best things we ever did as an au pair. New video.
No one wants to hear about those. Yeah. This was late into my au pair year, so I already had an established bond with my host parents, my host kids. I had 5 of them. 2 of them were teenagers, 1 was 12, and the other 2 that I actually watched were 8 and 6. The 8 and 6-year-old had gone to bed. I was responsible for everyone one Friday night. The parents were like away at their chateau in Normandy or whatever. And the teenagers, I didn't really have a choice in the matter. The parents left and they were like,
so a party's happening tonight.
And I was like, hey, I'm not a regular au pair, I'm a cool au pair. Text Hannah and the other au pairs in our neighborhood. I'm like, there's a party tonight at my house, come over. Hannah was there, we sat in the kitchen and we monitored the party, when in reality it was kind of like we were just watching high school kids get like drunk and smoke in our apartment, in my apartment. And it was hysterical. But it was probably the worst thing I ever did because I was kind of responsible that weekend and probably shouldn't have let it happen. But
I don't know how you could have stopped it happening, honestly.
I didn't have a choice.
You're gonna like bar the door? Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. I didn't speak that much French at the time either.
Also,
but
they were quite old, weren't they? They weren't like babies.
I felt, but I was nervous, like if someone got sick or something, I was
terrifying.
Like, this is totally I would be liable.
Yeah. And
then we did get on the table at one point and start dancing.
Probably
the worst part of what I did. I was condoning the behavior at a certain point.
But straight after we were like, you gotta go now.
Yeah,
like, we were like, party's over.
Party, le sortir! So.
One terrible thing that I definitely did do, which kind of wasn't my fault either, was when my host parents went away. I was sick and I was pretty ill and I was just in bed and they'd gone away and I had no one to look after me. And this cleaner came around. She was like a new cleaner. They always have like someone different every week. And she was like, oh, like asking me loads of questions. So I was like, lady, I'm really ill. Like, please leave me alone. This is actually not the worst thing I ever did. This is the worst thing the cleaner ever did, actually. She, like a day later, she'd like cleaned, left. A day later, I woke up and went to the kitchen and was like making myself mashed potatoes because that was all I could eat. And noticed that the back door was open. I was like, oh my god, we have house cats. Like, where are the house cats gone? And so I was looking around this apartment like crazy, like searching for them. Because really, like, I probably shouldn't have just been like dolloping a bunch of food for them and then going and getting back into bed. I should have been looking after them. And yeah, I couldn't find them anywhere. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to tell them that I've lost the cats. Like, I've killed the fish. I've done everything. I was getting so stressed out. And then I just heard, because like one of the cats, this is probably why it was bad. One of the cats I would always let in my room and sleep with me, and the other cat I'd be like,
don't like that one.
Go away. He was evil. And then I was like searching all over the place for him, and then I had like little like I couldn't find him anywhere, and he would start and stop and start and stop, and I'd be like, where is he? Is he like in the dishwasher? Is he like, I don't know, something terrible happened to him? He was in the very top of a wardrobe, like ceiling to floor wardrobe.
How did he get there?
Like, must have climbed to the very, very, very top. So as soon as I opened, and he couldn't get out, so as soon as I like opened the door, he like jumped the hallway.
Oh no!
They've been trapped there for like 2 days.
2 days?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's pretty bad.
I think a lot of it is realizing your host parents might be mad at you for a second. But I think that we're a lot harder on ourselves.
Oh yeah, I still feel bad about that. Any advice? I would say there was a discussion on the APOP open forum about who should be looking after kids when they're ill and like what happens when you're ill and whether host parents are nice to you when you're ill. And I would say my advice is like, if you're sick, like let your host parents know ASAP, like straight away. Yeah, like if you wake up at 7 in the morning and you're like, I feel ill, like tell them then. Don't tell them like just before you have to. So what I should have done with my story was tell them I'm really sick, and then had them have like a pet sitter come around, or had them, but I felt like so nervous to be like, oh, I'm really ill, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
So what's the worst thing you've ever done as an au pair, or what's the biggest trouble that you've ever gotten into? Tell us down below, because we love reading the stories and then sharing
Make us feel
them.
better.
Just making us feel better, making the rest of the community feel better. Let us know. You're not alone, and it's probably not as big a deal as you think it is in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or it is.
Or it is, and you got fired. I don't know what to tell us. Mom used to come home and smoke a whole packet of cigarettes in the kitchen as we were all having dinner.
No, maybe
So
we
what's
should
up?
genuinely have that as a title.
Really?
Maybe. Because
The worst
it's a
parents are
bad
host
thing.
parents over
Yeah.
there. Changing the video in the middle of the video. I love it.